The value you get for your games at $60, all on today's Stuff That Sucks. So I've been wanting to address this with our gaming community for a little while now. It's the value of a game. Whether the game's good or bad, that's subjective. But what is a game's value? I like to look at it as a few things. The game can have 100 hours of entertainment, like Fallout 4, a gigantic single-player experience. They can have great online play modes leading to many hours of gaming. We see things like this in games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Star Wars Battlefront. And there is a pattern. AAA games are set to the retail price of $59.99. But the main problem I have with this is that not every AAA game is going to warrant the $59.99 price point. I think some games should be more expensive. I think some games should be less expensive. We already have less expensive covered. Games like Wasteland 2 and other indie titles sell from $20 to $50 cheaper than your standard AAA title. And sometimes the value in those games far exceeds those of games like Assassin's Creed and Batman Arkham Knight. Wouldn't it make sense to charge more for games that have more value to them, and less for games that don't? Now, I understand that my theory would lead you paying more for certain games, but also I think you'd pay less for certain games. An example is The Order 1886. A full retail price game at $59.99. The game had awesome graphics and a story campaign, and aside from collecting a few items, really had no replay value. Compared to something that came out close to the same time, Dying Light, which had more hours of gameplay, longer story, etc. But how do you put a price tag on the value of a game? Well, I've heard people claim graphics, story, gameplay, the usual. But the common consensus is how long a game can keep you entertained via replayability, a long campaign mode, or online play. So we could probably all agree that the amount of hours you get out of a game probably equals the value of it. So should shorter AAA games cost less, rather than the standard $59.99? I think they should. It's kind of weird how $59.99 became like the base price point for all games. That's common both on PC and console, by the way, because I know PC games are generally cheaper overall, mainly due to the fact that you can pirate games on the PC a lot easier than you can on the console. That's just my theory. I know a lot goes into setting a standard market price on something. Companies usually have a suggested retail price for a product their stores are selling, but you'd be hard-pressed to find a AAA game that's either above or below the suggested retail price of $59.99. Regardless if the game has the same value as other games currently on the shelf at the same price. What's even more interesting is the fact that some games take a lot longer to make, yet they still charge the same amount of money for a copy, which is $59.99. Now, I'm sure there's an interesting algorithm that shows why $59.99 is the perfect price for new games and software somewhere, but some games have so little gameplay or a criminally short campaign, or a lack thereof completely. Look at Titanfall. All Titanfall had was a multiplayer modes, and that was $60. While stuff like Black Ops 3, it has a ton of value in it. I mean, for 60, seriously, look at the game. Look how much stuff you get for $60. It's a lot. But they also kind of have to give you a lot in Call of Duty nowadays because they make one, it seems, every year. I think it's every 2 years now they make a new one. Or every year they rotate. Now I know I'm comparing two different games, Titanfall and Black Ops 3. But that's exactly my point. Shouldn't we be paying a different cost for games that have a less value and more games that have, well, more value? If they need to raise the price on games at launch date to make a profit, then raise it. I mean, in the PlayStation 2 days, games were $49.99 and now they're $59.99. But I don't think they've gone up enough. Considering how big game companies shovel DLC and pre-orders down our throats months before launch. And it's becoming a problem because games are costing more to make. Therefore, game companies need to sell more copies to turn a profit, which in turn is kind of responsible for the whole pre-order now, DLC on day one crap. If a game needs to be more than $59.99 to avoid big name companies from ripping out parts of the game and selling it as DLC, I say do it. I mean, if you look at PC games, they go on sale all the time, where console games rarely do. You'd be hard-pressed to find a AAA game on sale on console for less than $20 that isn't 2 years old on Xbox One or PS4. And I think it's such that we don't pay for games based on their value, but instead just set a flat price of $59.99 for every mainstream game that comes along. After all, you don't see cars having the same price across the board because there's different versions of cars that have different things in them. They drive differently. Some are bigger, some are smaller, different engines, different interior, different exterior. Look at the value of something and see what you're getting for your money. I've spent over 200 hours on Skyrim and only 40 on Batman Arkham Knight, yet I both paid $60 for them. Anyway guys, the whole point of this video is to make sure you look at the value of something before you're getting it. If a game like Assassin's Creed is on the shelf and Fallout 4, they're two completely different games, but yet they're the same price. They're both $60. So just do your research, look at the value of a game, see if it's actually worth the $60 you're spending on it. Maybe in the future, game companies will adjust prices based on the value or time spent developing the game. And that could be both good and bad, because prices will go up and certain games will go down. Anyway guys, for more videos like this and everything else gaming related, you're already in the right place. You're on Shacknews.com.